No matter if you've been making techno for 2 weeks or 10 years, there is always something which is hard to nail, and it's techno rumble. For example, I have these two audio examples which are exactly the same kick with the same rumble chain. There is just one parameter that is different. Let's have a listen at the two examples. Now second one. Did you feel how the second rumble was way much more groovier? And this is because of the pre-delay of the reverb that you use for your rumble. So it doesn't matter which reverb you are using, you will always have this pre-delay parameter that affect a lot your rumble and the groove. Unfortunately, there is no magic recipe or magic trick to know how to set your pre-delay, as it will depend of the BPM of the track, the kick length, what type of groove you want as well. But I will show you how to find the perfect value for you. But first, let's see why pre-delay is so important on your rumble. So to make the rumble, I actually use a rack of mine. This rack is available for free, the link in the description. This is basically a V2 version of a rack I made like 5 years ago. It's just your classic rumble chain where you will have your reverb, then distortion, and then a low pass filter. Now over the years I improved it and I had some sidechain, some sub, some delay that you can add, but today we're gonna focus on the reverb. Now you can see for this rack I have a dry chain where it's just my kick drum, and I have the rumble where I will have my reverb at 100%. Now that is important because basically pre-delay control the delay time in milliseconds before you start to hear the first early reflection. So basically when you dry wet it at 100%, pre-delay is gonna basically delay your reverb. Now to understand this better, what we're gonna do is we're gonna record the rumble only, and we're gonna put one rumble with the pre-delay at 4 milliseconds. And we're gonna do the same with exactly the same chain, but with the pre-delay at 167 milliseconds. And we're gonna record this into the arrangement. Alright, so I'm gonna add a kick drum to see where your rumble is compared to the kick. And you can see the one with 4 milliseconds start way sooner than the one with 167 milliseconds. And like we had in the intro, it affects a lot the groove and the feeling of your rumble. So how do you define which value you should put as your pre-delay? Now obviously it's always great to experiment and to feel what feels good for you, and not especially have like some rules. But if you're struggling and you feel something is off, that can be a great technique to see that maybe the problem was there and it will solve your problem. So because reverb is a time-based effect, the first thing that's gonna alter this value is the BPM. Now there is this Max for Live app which is free, which is called BPM Converter, and basically depending of your BPM they will tell you all the dotted now triplet value in milliseconds. And you can see for this example I used the dotted 16th which was around 167 milliseconds, and that's what I put, and that's what works. So usually this one work well, 1/8 triplet and notes as well. Alright, so there is one tips I wanted to add to this video, and it's not really directly related to reverb, but it's about sidechain. And the way you sidechain is gonna obviously have an impact on your groove. If you sidechain with a compressor or LFO tool, or like me, I have this rack where I use the shaper, you can see like the curve of your sidechain is gonna affect the groove as well. So by default, mine is set like this. But actually I noticed like for faster genres, sometimes it can work as well to kind of change the curve like this. So we're gonna make an A/B test. This is the classic sidechain with the curve up, and this is with the curve down that I just changed. And yeah, that's something you can experiment with. One other thing I forgot is the decay of your reverb as well. You might want to look into it sometimes, as too long decay makes things a bit too muddy. But like always in music production, there is no rule. Always do how you want, how you feel it. But I know that sometimes, especially if you begin, you don't know where the problem is coming from, and that might be one of the things that you want to look into it. Go to experiment with your rumble, and see you next time. Bye bye.